Hey man, here we are. We're live on location in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. It's my hometown, and we're basically going to do another episode of Breaking Glass, but we're going to do it here at the Orchards, which is one of my favorite restaurants in town. And we're over here with my good buddy Mike Kalapis, which I went to high school with, and we hung out all through high school, and he has this amazing restaurant, which is pretty badass. Mike?
Absolutely. So over on the other side, we have the banquet hall that could fit up to 400 or 500 people. Depends on if you have a wedding, a dance floor, you need that kind of stuff.
I actually had my wedding here. It was like 300
That was
people.
one of the coolest weddings, too, man.
That's 17 years ago.
The whole place looked like.
But yeah, I know. I remember one story real quick. We won't dwell on it, but I remember him coming out and bitching. It's like somebody came out bitching because we had a crazy florist that came in and they put rose petals in the toilets and the urinals. They put ice in the urinals and put rose petals on top, and they must have clogged up a lot of the urinals and stuff with the rose petals, just to make it look pretty.
Yeah, I think the best story I've heard was that you offered free beer and everybody was going into their cars with pitchers of beer trying to leave with extra pitchers.
When we were leaving, well, the wedding was over and Mikey was like, well, you can take, we had like kegs and kegs of beer and everybody was drinking out of bottles and nobody was drinking the draft beer. So we filled up a bunch of pitchers and drove them over to the hotel. Yeah, I remember Zig was like, dude, they were rolling over, beer was splashing all over the place. So that was good stuff. But hey, we're going to take a little walk through this place. Absolutely. They actually sell a lot of crazy gourmet chocolates here, which is pretty awesome.
Zoe's chocolates. They've been written up in Oprah Winfrey's magazine. They've been in the music awards. They're blowing up. They were just on the reality show called The Prophet.
Yeah. Oh wow.
But they're all handmade and they're awesome chocolates.
They look delicious. What's this one? I just recognize that sesame seed on there,
exactly,
right? What is that?
Exactly. It's a Greek one actually, but they're all phenomenal.
Yeah.
The best one for me is a salted caramel.
Salt. I saw the
then
salt
you can see the St. Patty ones, so they get a little creative with it.
No, they look great.
But when you definitely look at those chocolates, the thinness of the chocolate is so fragile. Mm-hmm. So when these are $2 a piece.
Yeah.
Plus depends on how many you buy. So if you buy one or two, they're $2.50. If you buy 10, they're $2.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are they so expensive? But if you ever go where they make them, there's so many that are broken because they're so fragile that they probably just add the price to the ones that actually survive.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
So
it's kind of it's pretty cool. So
all right, well, let's take a walk. We're gonna check out this awesome restaurant. This place is huge. I mean, there's actually like this lounge. There's a restaurant, and then there's a bar on either side called Relax. And like I said, it's basically the coolest watering hole in our town. It's
Absolutely.
Like best food. I mean, it's super high.
We're here a couple times a week usually.
So let's walk through here.
All
We're going into the lounge now, which is actually my favorite place to eat.
Yeah, I kind of stand by the lounge too. Like that side's it's awesome and it's functional, but there's the ambiance in this room is just something that I
love all this Civil War stuff.
It.
I mean, we're really close to Gettysburg. We've mentioned before, and they've got all these really badass original like Civil War pictures from
Brad Clever, local artist.
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
These pictures, they're definitely very gothic.
Are they based on sculptures, or are they actually like original?
No, that's an awesome question. So he went down to D.C. in front of the Capitol, and these two sculptures, the cavalry ones, are in front of there.
Because they look like they're bronze sculptures.
But he totally painted them.
He painted them.
So
wow, that's
pretty
great.
amazing to see.
Yeah.
And that one's somewhere down in the south. That sculpture there.
Those are great. I mean, they're so photorealistic.
Yeah, he's an awesome.
Yeah, Brad Clever.
And he's a Chambersburg artist?
Yeah, Chambersburg artist, man.
So yeah, this is like where I come and eat probably once every week. This is like my wife's favorite restaurant to eat at, so we come in here a good bit. So we're gonna walk in here to the actual area where we're gonna do the podcast at. This place is set up with multiple like private rooms, and we're gonna actually do it. Well, we actually had Mike Fisher on the episode a couple episodes back, and he has a whole room in here just designed from him. It's called the Glass Room. It's a little disarray right now because we're setting up the podcast, but we'll check out some of the rooms. So over here, we got their awesome wine cellar.
So is this a room that, is this a room that you have people eat into? Or
people have asked to eat in that room, but it's actually kind of cold. It's set at 63 degrees to keep the wine where it's supposed to be. It's the insulated walls.
Yeah.
So it definitely feels like a wine cellar in there.
Definitely, yeah.
All right, coming out of here, we're gonna move over. We got a couple more private rooms I think are pretty pimp. This is actually probably one of my favorite rooms. I love the tiki room. I think this room's sick.
And it is technically called the Bamboo Room.
The Bamboo Room.
Room number 5.
And you got the little plaques on the walls
all
there.
the plaques do say the name. So when you make your reservations, don't ask for the Tiki Room, ask for the Bamboo Room.
They know what you're
They
talking
probably know what you're talking about.
They know what you're talking about. Here's the library. Another pimp room.
Yeah, and the same artist did the wine that did the Civil War paintings in here.
Did
So,
these wine ones
yeah.
too? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. That's a big... Yeah, that's kind
So
of a
same
shift.
thing.
And shift in some... It's very photorealistic, but these are, of course, being all color, actually.
Yeah.
That actually raises the challenge. I
Yeah,
think.
he's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a badass
This is
painter.
probably one of my favorite rooms. I hadn't been in here before today, and I actually really dig this room. I like the round table and all the comfy seats. And I'd probably be the guy that walked around and like looked at all the shelves and like was like, oh, what books are these? But
Well,
yeah, I really like
So
it.
anyway, yeah, like I said, we're going to be doing a podcast here. We got Jason Farrar, which is our local melt tattoo artist, and he's a local friend of ours, and we're going to be doing the podcast here in a minute, but we thought we'd be cool just to walk through this place and check it out, let you guys see where we're at this week, because we're always trying to do something different, and like I said, this motherfucker hooked it up and made it cool for us. He got some appetizers coming out for us. He made us a nice little appetizer tray. We picked out some really good bottles of wine to drink, and like I said, we're going to have a good time. I think it's going to be a good podcast. So thanks a lot, Mike.
Absolutely, brother.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure
Appreciate
having you guys here. So
Yeah.
enjoy yourselves tonight.
All right.
Sure.
All right, brother.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, hey, everybody. Nice to see you. We are here at the Orchards Restaurant, which, we did a little walkthrough earlier with the owner, Mikey, and, we're going to continue this episode with this awesome room we're in. It's my buddy Mike Fisher designed this glass room, and we got a kick-ass bottle of some Malbec. It's Trevento. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Going full classy on this episode.
This is a nice bottle of Malbec, and like I said, I don't know if you guys...
It's guaranteed to stay
I don't
in
know
your
if
teeth.
all of our viewers are familiar with Malbec, but it's from Argentina. It's
Actually, traditionally, honestly, it's...
Oh, go ahead.
Listen, it originated in France, and it's more traditionally known for Chile and Argentina. So, but it actually originated in France
as a varietal, it's known for coming out of Argentina, not Chile.
and Chile. I just looked it up before we started, so
I have a little bit of information on
I
Malbec
threw a little
myself.
curveball in there.
No,
It also has
I
a
can't.
thicker
I can't
grape skin.
authenticate that.
Well, put it up there.
Thicker grape skin.
Tempernios and Malbecs.
But yeah, we got this awesome bottle. We got. and-
It's a grape with a thicker skin that they use for the Malbec as
It
well.
is.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
found
that was all
I found
on there.
that out previously.
Well, it's a darker. It's a darker too. So, and it's usually grown a little higher elevation. So that's why you get that. So anyway,
Perfect
that
for
light-
Mikey,
Lightheaded
the
feel.
owner we met earlier, he brought us in this couple little appetizers here. We got some shrimp and some filet mignon and some,
Delicious calamari.
and it's real.
It's real calamari.
We had this conversation earlier because we were talking about like they showed the statistics of whatever calamari is. A lot of it's like pig anus. Or,
Is it pig or cow?
I would say pig. I don't know. I actually have to look that up.
I
but
think,
it's-
know
I
your
think I've
pork?
heard pig. I think I've heard pig. but,
Really? It's a pig anus.
they say
This
a lot
was
of restaurants
definitely
out
a
there.
squid before
Yeah.
it became the rings.
Yeah, this
Jay
restaurant-
has like a lot of like behind the scenes stuff going
just
on
so you
here
know,
at
this
this
is
restaurant.
Jason Farrar.
Yep.
And,
hello.
he's our resident tattoo guy from Melt. He's a local tattoo guy. He's a good friend of mine for years and years and years. So he's sitting in with us, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff with Melt this week and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into that. But
And he's also very familiar with this restaurant.
yeah,
you could
he actually
say.
lives here.
So he's actually seen
kinda.
the calamari prepared here,
Yes,
so
yes,
he can
it's-
authenticate that it
it's
is
a-
actually squid.
He lives in a
full-grown
room.
squid
Pig or
before
He
it
lives in a room
becomes
in the back of the
plated.
kitchen.
Yes.
I eat well, believe me.
No, you do come here a lot. This is like your spot.
This is where I eat.
Well, you and Mikey are like said pretty much
I
best
can
friends.
cook for myself every night, but the dishes are ridiculous.
Yeah. Like I said, the food is great here, and like I said, we thought it'd be a cool atmosphere change, and we get this cool glass room to kick it in, and we get to drink some good wine, and
Well, plus when you have the higher end guests like me on, you're gonna definitely.
yeah, for sure.
I wore my best
This
hoodie.
motherfucker's world class.
I wore my best hoodie for sure.
What's your guys' take on the wine so far?
Actually, this is super smooth.
Yeah.
Compared to a lot. I mean,
Delicious.
some of the cheaper
That's
ones.
good.
This was a higher end
a little
bottle. So
tannic.
I would
I don't
say
know.
MSRP price, like the retail price on this is probably like $35.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
They sell it here for like what, 60
60,
bucks?
65.
I mean, it's a restaurant markup, but that's how it is. But I mean, a lot of times we buy me and Josh drink
A lot of
Malbecs, like a lot.
Malbecs, yeah.
So I've drank and a ton of them, and most of them are $15.
Yeah, $15, $20 is what I expect
So
to
once
pay
you
for a
get
nice
into the 30,
Malbec.
but if you, I watch a lot of those wine things, and they always say about the quality of wine. They were like, you're better off getting a bottle of wine between $10 and $20 as opposed to $30 to $40 because you're really paying for the same. Basically, there's only like so much money worth of wine. It's mainly you're paying for packaging. So I don't know if you get into wine,
Bragging rights, you're paying for bragging
pretty
rights
much you're paying.
sometimes,
I paid $50 for this wine. Well, you're still only worth $20.
If you buy the cheaper one, you can drink a lot more of it.
Yeah,
So that's always a plus.
Anyway, cheers one more time. This is
Yeah,
good,
I actually,
good wine.
I'm liking. I'm enjoying it.
Like I said, help yourself here. We got all kinds of little snackies.
Yeah, what does it look like? It looks like we got a little filet mignon, some calamari, and is this like just like a little
shrimp.
I think that's a
cocktail
cocktail
sauce.
shrimp, yeah.
cocktail shrimp? Nice.
And then we just put an order in for something awesome, which the lady's gonna bring it out here shortly. We ordered some saganaki, which when you see it, it's gonna be sweet. They're gonna light some fire up and blow some shit up. Yeah. Y'all good? Sounding good? Make sure your shit's clicked in. Right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I hear him. So
Can you hear me chewing in the mic? I mean,
anyway,
I am going to try to lean back when I chew on it because one of the things you hear about podcasts, like, oh, people don't want to hear you eat and stuff. So we're going to eat these appetizers because it'd be rude not to.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
We're going to lean back when we chew. We're going to try.
it's my first time, so I have to be informed of these things.
Yes.
Or I could ruin the whole
Something to
podcast.
consider. You've never heard of a podcast though, like you've never listened to Joe Rogan or something like that, where they're talking about food and it's like. Of course, you're watching. Actually, we were talking about a podcast which is all about eating. Is the Good Mythical Morning.
Oh, they do a whole
Gotta
bunch
try to
of
muffle
weird
it
stuff.
out.
So those guys like just like when you're do you listen or watch it?
You watch that one,
Okay.
and you can hear them chewing sometimes.
Yeah,
'cause
but
they
you
do
don't
a
find
lot
it
of chewing, but-
watching is going to be way different than listening to a podcast where you're talking and hearing the.
well, I mean, this is a lot of chewy
Salacious
stuff
sounds.
too. I mean, we got calamari and shrimp and beef, so it's all chew.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
try to
take that. You're gonna
Mind
work
my
through it,
podcast
yeah.
etiquette here.
Red, you want a little bit of this? You want a little grub?
It's
You're on a
delicious.
diet now. You're back on.
Hey, we
the
just want to give a shout out to our producer Red. Actually, he's having a drink with us today.
Yeah,
Cheers, Red.
finally.
One hell of a guy.
Yeah, we're
drinking
always
a
trying to
Moscow
get
Mule.
Red to have a drink with us, but of course he's like so professional.
I went to his house for
maintains-
dinner last week, and he made me ribs and crab legs, and we drank Moscow Mules.
He forced you to play board
And
games.
forced me to play board games with my wife.
What kind of
My
board
wife
games?
had a great time.
I love how you added with my wife to that. Yeah, I was just like forced you to play board games, and you're like, let me turn it up a level with my wife.
just me
If
and
it
Red
wasn't
just
bad
showed up.
enough
Me and Red
with
just
my
showed up. It was just me and Red sitting in a room playing board games together. That'd been pretty hilarious.
Twister would have been.
I'm
interesting.
notorious.
Maybe more fun. I don't know.
I'm notorious in board games for being like the
A bad loser.
biggest asshole.
Yeah.
I don't lose a lot. I mean, because I take it too serious. I'm too
Cards
competitive.
of Humanity. What's your record on that?
Hey, I actually win a lot, but I just get pissed about it. 'cause
You win at Cards of Humanity?
Yeah, I win still. We crushed it the other night. What were we playing? Taboo or some shit? Yeah, we crushed that shit. Would you rather? Well, the Taboo game, we were playing that, and I'm not even joking. Did you ever play that game? It's like where
no.
you have a teammate, and you have to read the question, but you have to get that person to guess the answer without saying certain
So
words.
like a list of 5 words, you
That you can't
cannot
say.
use those to describe the thing.
We were about halfway through. Me and Jeremy were crushing it, but
You guys
My
have
wife-
an advantage, or you're like friends forever.
doesn't
Like,
matter. My
that's
wife
who should win.
and Jeremy's girl, they were
does
playing.
matter.
And the little freaking timer was going, and they were like going crazy. They were like, seriously, like 10 questions. They were like getting every one. After a while, I was like, what the fuck is going on? It's like the longest minute ever. They're like taking time to take a break and drink and shit, like talk. I'm like, the fucking timer stopped working, and they totally thought they were crushing it. To this, they still think that they got robbed on that. But I was like, that timer's been done forever.
Yeah.
You know, normally you might get 4 of them, and they were like getting way too many. So we just redid that one. Anyway, we won.
Well, I've heard
Fucking
wives
girls.
cheat. That's all I know.
Yeah, they do cheat. Shelly's a big cheater. Any case,
So, of course, one of the things we have every week is the Week in Review, but as you guys know, we and Kevin are kind of getting some of these interviews under our belt. We just talked to Junkie 2 days ago, so we haven't watched too much.
we're trying to bank some stuff
Yeah.
because he's getting ready to take off for the West Coast because he has a bunch
I'll
of
be
stuff.
taking up. So I can say this. Yesterday I did watch. I watched the entire season of Forever, which is a new Amazon
entire
original.
season?
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes and they're 30 minutes apiece. And I did nothing yesterday.
Yeah, let's
I
put it.
did
Let's
zero.
say this: after we did Junkies episode on Saturday, which was our St. Patty's Day episode, I didn't do nothing Sunday. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, we both. Like, I was on the couch all day.
I did not
My
get
wife
it,
cooked
yeah.
me 3 meals, and I literally watched golf and hockey.
And I just avoided people. And I have 2 roommates, and I just avoided them all day and went and watched TV. And so, and not everybody's gonna like Forever. As I was gonna say, I watched this new show on Amazon. If you're a fan of The Good Place, it's kind of that context where it's like a show about the afterlife in a comedic sense. But I just can't say everybody's gonna like it, but I will say that I really enjoyed it. But one of the before I'm gonna cut Kevin off before he says anything. Since me and Kevin, but what have you watched recently that you're like, Jay, like, what are you watching? Because that's one of the things we're always telling people. We're in the studio watching stuff. You're a tattoo artist. You're in the shop. You guys watch stuff in there.
They listen to music.
I don't watch a lot of television shows, but I did pick up one recently that I like.
What's that?
Project Blue Book on the History Channel.
Oh, cool.
We wanted to watch that.
It's definitely enthralling. It's
that's all.
Yeah.
That's all
it's
aliens and UFO stuff.
but it's based on actual events from the 50s and 60s.
It's kind of, and I've actually watched the first 2 episodes
got,
of that.
yeah.
Is that already done for the? Like,
It's just got done for this
just got
season.
done.
It
It's got
had 8
Littlefinger.
episodes.
yeah, if you're familiar with Game of Thrones,
Game of
the
Thrones.
actor that plays Littlefingers
yeah.
is one of the main characters of that. I can't think of his name. Was also he's in the 3rd season of The Wire, I believe. Also that actor.
Yeah, see, I don't do a lot of TV watching. I watch like some.
You're a cartoon guy.
Yeah, right there.
Well, you watch some podcasts and stuff. Though.
Yeah,
sounds like
a
you're
couple
religiously
podcasts.
watching the Mythical Morning.
Yeah, I'll get
You
that.
watch Hot Ones
with my coffee, and then I watch the Hot Ones when they have somebody that I'm interested to hear what they have to say. Like Shaq was on the other day. That was pretty interesting.
We watch that, and of course, I'm sure you've watched all the Breaking Glass.
Oh, of course,
podcasts.
yes, I've seen all of them.
Oh,
That's why I couldn't wait to get on.
Yeah.
There was a long line.
Well, we're going to get into a lot of that for why he's involved with it and like why we brought him on because he's like I said he's a part of what we do.
Well, I've watched that project. Just before we go too far, I did watch the first 2.
It's definitely worth
episodes of
watching.
that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Well, you were out of the room.
Oh, what the fuck?
It's definitely
well, you're the
embellished a
one
little
that
bit,
told
but-
me about it, which
Yeah.
is you told me about it, and then you took off one.
It
day.
looks
I was like,
good.
I'm going to watch this, but the season wasn't out, so I only could watch 1 episode. So I've watched actually the first 2 episodes, and it actually has some promise.
It sucked me in for every episode, and
We've been
that's good.
watching,
Cool.
like I said, in the shop. You watch Hot Ones?
yeah.
We've been watching that. Like I
We've
said, we
definitely
keep
been
up.
keeping up with that.
Yeah, that shit's
I watch
That's
a lot
kind of fun, yeah.
I watch a lot of car reviews, and
Yeah.
just pointless stuff. That
Yeah. Well, and we're definitely going to rip off Hot Ones one day. We're going to either do like some episode where it's like
Hot shit.
tacos or whatever, because the Hot Ones podcast has totally inspired us. We're always eating hot sauce now. It's like, all right, well, what's this? What's this?
That's a good time.
It is a good time. I actually really like a shout out to that podcast. I really enjoy it.
Anything else new this week? Anything else good?
No, sorry,
No, all right. What's up?
I'm not very interesting.
What?
With the weather changing, I get to go outside more. It's pretty nice. I like
Actually,
outside.
I'm really excited because we're getting ready to do mushroom hunts coming.
Oh, I know.
Man, I
Yeah,
can't wait.
What is?
I'll be
Mushroom
looking-
hunt? Morel mushrooms?
About the mid of
I've been here for 3 years. We've never been on one of these hunts.
Every year. I found like a whole bunch last year.
Maybe you weren't here.
You
when it
actually
happened.
usually take off about this time.
Yeah, you're getting ready to move.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true.
yeah. That is when
it
I
only
live,
happens
yeah.
for 1 month.
Oh, I know.
You usually take
Actually,
off.
it only happens for like 2.5 weeks.
Weeks, yeah, it's like a very small window.
Well,
yeah.
he usually takes off by now. You're usually
Yeah.
already gone,
Yeah.
and you don't come back till June. So it doesn't actually start until about April 15th.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And about April 15th to like May 15th, you'll find them. For
And
about
I
a
have
month.
to admit, I'm not totally surprised because there's actually a lot of connection between Oregon, my home state, and Pennsylvania in terms of mushrooms. Like we grow crazy chanterelles out there, and there are a couple counties in Pennsylvania that are chanterelle producing counties that do that. So
Well, Pennsylvania is actually
Pennsylvania's a
I
mushroom
think we're on the
That's
same
Pennsylvania's
longitude.
#1 export is mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We actually have some of the hugest. That Modern Mushroom Company, which is nationwide, you'll see them in every grocery store. They're pretty much, that's all Pennsylvania. And if you go out towards like Jersey, the end of Pennsylvania, it's just fucking warehouses. I mean, they actually took the old abandoned turnpike tunnels.
Oh yeah, they
Turned them
grow.
into
Yep,
mushroom.
yep.
So there's
I
old
heard about
abandoned
that.
turnpike tunnels out in the mountain somewhere. I don't know where they're at, but they actually turned them into mushroom farms.
All right, that's pretty
So, yeah,
interesting.
it's pretty
yeah.
wild shit.
Repurposing.
Repurposing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we're gonna go back.
Well, one of the things we want to do real quick before we get too far
Shout
into
out?
is the shout out to our sponsors. First of all,
Taipan.
Taipan.
We're gonna keep saying that because Jim is the man, and like I said, a lot of his proceeds go to help shit.
Well, yeah, he actually especially the pro. I mean, like Jim's out there. He's a hustler. He's working hard every day, and then on top of all, he runs a business like Taipan, where the proceeds generally go to these projects. That
buy
he
a
has.
Taipan. You need it to sign your glass.
Yeah, you absolutely need one. Go to one of your suppliers or call Jim directly. Get that. And then our other new sponsor for the podcast
We're excited about is the Fam Show.
The Fam Show.
ABR.
Yep, ABR putting on the Fam Show in the Midwest. If you're a shop or a glassblower in the Midwest, you need to go to the Fam Show. I mean, that way you're
There's going to be 130 booths.
exposing yourself to the local retailers for the area.
Yeah, for
and
real.
it's a continuation. I mean, Glassroots has kind of held down the Midwest for the past 10 years doing trade shows. And now that they've decided to move their show to Asheville, North Carolina, and they're going to be an East Coast show, I mean, ABR has really stepped up to serve something that people have come to expect. And we hope to see you out at the
We're going to be there. Melt's going to have a booth.
We're going to be there. Melt's
going to be filming podcasts.
We're going to do a podcast
bunch
out
of our
there.
shards.
Get a hold of us in advance, and if you're, maybe we'll do a little mini episode with you or something.
And just so everybody knows, our producer came up with the word shard.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
That's not the same as a shart. That's when you shit your pants a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We actually had a
well,
couple
it is,
people
but
come
it's
on and
also
say that,
I
which is hilarious.
think it's not just when you shit your. Sometimes you just shit your pants a little bit.
It's air assisted.
Sometimes you think you're farting. I think it's when you think you're farting and then you shit. That's why it's sharp.
It's a surprise.
I think it is a surprise.
I got a little bit extra on that one.
Yeah. Sometimes you're holding it back and you shit. I don't think that's a shart. I think that's like fuck.
Yeah, it's nicer when it happens at home.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Sometimes you fart and you're like, oh fuck, that was shit. That is
Does that happen a lot?
Not for me, but I think that's where it is.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that suffer.
Well, I just know the lexicon.
So anyway, we got shards, and like I said, there's a bunch more of them coming out. So the fam show is gonna be awesome. Go there, do that.
Yeah, definitely go to the fam show, and we're gonna be talking about it for the rest of the
every time.
Yeah, every time
until we go there.
Yeah, until we go there, and look forward to our episode with Dave, one of the founders of the fam show. All right, so
here again, we're gonna start talking about Melt. And that's we thought this would be a great episode for that. But since like Jay's a local friend of mine and hometown tattoo guy, he works at a shop.
Black Diamond Tattoos, downtown Chambersburg.
Been doing that for how long?
Almost 10 years now.
Nice.
Yes.
And like crazy thing is you used to weld.
Yeah, well, I was a machinist.
Yeah.
And I did a whole bunch of stuff at a place that built trucks. So it was a little bit of a change, but
you were always artistic.
Define machinist. Were you like running a CNC? Or
I ran a couple CNCs.
Okay.
I ran a couple in-house homemade machines, and then I was in charge of like weird product development on a couple different things. But
because that's
far behind me.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I wouldn't actually, just because you CNC doesn't necessarily mean you know how to weld.
Oh no! I learned how to.
Was
weld
that a personal interest?
Yeah,
okay,
because then. Getting into the tattoos, I started building tattoo machines. So I had my welding skills, which allowed that to happen. So I have a machine shop at my house where I build tattoo machines. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Everything I do.
He has some pretty sick. So you all the ones you use, you built yourself pretty much. So
yep. That's why they pulled me in. My friend Jeff that brought me into it, the owner of Black Diamond, he wanted to build tattoo machines and knew I was a machinist and offered me an opportunity to spend some time with him and do that. And then it turned into like an industry probably a lot like your industry where I can't really have you making these if you don't know what you're doing with them. It's kind of weird to people in the tattoo
But you were a good artist to begin with. You could always draw.
That's actually was going to be one of my questions.
But not the one thing I remember telling Jeff was like, "What, you can teach me how to tattoo?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can teach anybody." And I didn't believe him, but I let him try.
But you definitely have artistic skills to do what you do because you're pretty spot on with your tattoos. I mean, you're great. You can draw. Awesome.
It's a mechanical application sometimes. Yep. It really is. I mean, you can. Take some art.
I really respect you for saying that because I do think that I often tell glass people when they're starting, it's like, no, I can teach you to blow glass. You don't have to be an artist to learn to blow glass.
But if you want to develop, then you have to put some heart into it. Anybody can make a marble, but anybody that wants to make a really great marble is going to really have.
They're going to have like some inherent talent.
Well, you actually did some glass blowing too for a while then.
Oh yeah,
you have a little glass blowing shop at your house. We set up
like 5 years.
Yeah, you set that up, and you were making some cool marbles, and you made the little skull marbles.
I did anatomical heart in full color.
Little hearts.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I mentioned it to you. There's several tattoo artists that have transitioned into glass, or that now both tattoo and it's because they do surface work. They're just drawing on the glass. And again,
his was all three-dimensional. His glass marbles he would make would be three-dimensional.
I always wanted skull marbles
because I was talking about something different. I was just saying, like taking your tattoo stuff, and then like transitioning the graphic skill to glass.
Yep, I saw a lot of people.
I would think that would be pretty cool to see some like crazy. Imagine you make a rig out of caramel, and then he Sailor Jerry's it up.
Yeah,
I mean that would be
with the classic.
Awesome.
Well, Jay gave me my first tattoo I ever had. I got from Jay, and
it was a good time. I remember.
Yeah, well, I was the first one. I went in and I kind of was like, let's do a sugar skull, and he gave me a sugar skull. And I got that. Still, that's the first tattoo.
Yeah, I think actually all the tattoos
that was very early on in my career.
Well, the thing is,
how old is that tattoo?
That tattoo is probably 7 or 8 years old now.
Yeah, all my friends that work at this tattoo shop, like I said, they're good friends of mine, most of them all, and So I have different body parts. So like Jay's got this arm, and Shane's got this arm, and Jeff's got this leg, and Dave's got
I
this
wanted
leg.
other parts, but
Someday I'm due for a tattoo. Actually, it's been a couple years.
Well, as soon as he has to get that.
No, my last two. I think those little birds were the last thing.
That
he
one
gave
right
me.
there. I remember the noises that you made.
He gave me
while we
this
were
one.
doing
I had
that.
this,
The wing or
feather.
the-
the wing going into my
the
armpit.
wing
I
right
bet the
there,
wing
yeah.
going in the armpit.
one of the worst pains.
I've heard that this
And
is a very
no matter
painful
what
Had a
anybody
very,
tells
very
you-
high pitched squeal to it.
Yeah,
Yes, it was
tattoos
fun.
hurt.
And you were just
Every
like
one of them
behind him,
hurts.
squeal like a pig.
And I was going like,
Yeah,
like I was going
it was
crazy.
way worse than that.
Yeah, and then this guy comes over acting all like crazy. He was tattooed from head to toe. And he's like, "Man, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "This fucking hurts." And he's like, "You think that's bad?" And he like lifts his armpit up, and he has his whole entire armpit looks like a freaking tattooed butthole. Like it was just black and green. And like I was like, "Jesus Christ, dude!" And he didn't even touch my armpit. He was just on the edge. Of
On
it.
the edge, yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst pain. Tattoos suck. I sweat. I break it out to like a crazy flop sweat.
Everybody does. Everybody.
I respect that at least because most people talk about tattoos. It's like, oh, it's the experience.
Some
blah,
people
blah, blah.
like
At least you're
Todd,
admitting that it fucking just
Dunlap. He'll talk shit. He'll be like, "Dude, I
dude.
just fall asleep." You know?
I'm telling you right now,
I would
nobody
fall
falls
asleep,
asleep,
too.
and it does hurt. It hurts
hurts.
very badly. I
People,
do not
a
like
lot
it.
of people fall asleep.
No, nobody falls asleep. People always talk about the time they fell asleep, but it's never been the time where I'm tattooing.
What's the
Really?
worst experience you had tattooing somebody?
Besides yours, it was probably this 16-year-old girl.
Damn, dude.
Todd?
No, only one person I had to stop tattooing was a 16-year-old girl who claimed she was mature enough to get the tattoo and then wanted to hug her mom while I did a very small tattoo on her and wouldn't stop shaking or crying. So
Nobody passed out on you?
No, that happens.
I know Shane. I remember Shane saying some guy passed out.
Oh, yeah, people
Big
pass
tough
out.
dude passed out, and then
People pass
gets up.
out, and it's always just like a reaction thing. That
How
their
long
body
is it when
does.
someone passes out? How long are they actually passed
From
out?
like a minute to 5 minutes. We have smelling salts. It's usually their body just kind of.
Do you wake them up intentionally?
Yeah, we have to. I mean,
Is that like legal? You have to wake them up if they
Well,
pass out?
I don't know what the legalities are.
Just take
with
a
it.
nap.
But
Well,
the
no,
like
I
the-
just was thinking like if someone would just fucking pass out, it'd be a lot easier. Just be like,
No,
all right,
no,
they're
because
finished.
somebody
I
that
didn't-
wakes up
I
from-
don't have a tattoo.
When people
How
wake
about
up
that?
from
Oh, you
being
hear
this
passed
shit?
out,
Are
they
you
don't
gonna
know where
commit?
they
Are you gonna commit
sometimes.
right now?
They just
Yeah, I'll
float
Commit
in.
right now on air that you're gonna let him get your tattoo.
Absolutely. I already told Jay he gets first dibs a
But
couple years ago.
I've been coming up
Which
to
ass
Melt
cheek?
for like
Left or
3
right?
years now.
Yeah,
I don't do
totally.
ass cheeks.
Hey,
Not on guys.
well, as soon as he's ready to go for the taint, I'm in.
All right, taint it is.
Dude, that's not an ass cheek.
You're very clear. That is not an ass cheek. Whatever. You bring the stirrups.
Yeah. When I get one, Jay gets first dibs, but I haven't got one yet.
I'm sure.
But,
It'll,
the
I'm
whole
sure it'll be
pass out-
glass related. Melt.
I don't know. Maybe it might be melt related. It might be
Yeah,
melt related.
honestly, the
but
sad-
I honestly think I could go to sleep during a tattoo.
I
they hurt.
honestly think that you think that, but I honestly think that you
That
won't.
said, hear this out. You've been in a school where they have an alarm for fire bells, right?
Yeah.
And it's like a little bell with a hammer, right?
Yeah, ding, ding, ding.
Above my this is not a joke. Above my bed when I was a junior and senior in high school, I had one of those mounted above my bed, and I had a wake up service. That thing would ring 40 to 50 times, wouldn't wake me up.
But you were already asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, I was already asleep.
I can
I'm
attest.
saying
think
I have
that-
some pretty powerful sleep pass out.
I do attest
I
to the
think it would be a
fact.
good experiment. Honestly,
yeah.
Well, no.
To see.
You don't
I
do
don't
good with
actually
pain.
think the pain would bother me though. Is
Yeah,
the flip
you don't
side.
do good with pain.
It's
You're not good with pain.
It's not the worst
I don't
pain in
think
the
this
world.
motherfucker
All right,
knows shit.
it's a surface pain. It stings.
Yeah.
It has a burn. You have a brush burn.
It feels
when
like you're
done.
on fire.
But
Yeah, that wouldn't bother
it
me.
is almost like I just don't picture most people sleeping through it. You'd have to be heavily sedated.
He does
or-
pass out at his torch standing
I
up.
mean, you're talking.
I'll give him
Yeah,
that.
I can sleep.
Yeah, but that's probably alcohol induced.
Yes,
not
mostly.
No, it's not actually.
Oh, sorry. Whiskey.
It's
That's alcohol.
I can. The alcohol is not part of my sleeping mechanism. I sleep heavy regardless of alcohol.
You do sleep.
That's
Well,
proven.
I would say if I started tattooing you while you were sleeping,
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
No, you'd wake up.
Ultimately, it just have to be a really big tattoo. If it was only
Okay,
an hour,
here's-
I'm probably
we're
not fall
gonna-
asleep. But if we're going into 3 hours, I don't
Okay.
doubt that I might fall
I have
asleep.
an awesome idea. We're gonna revisit this
on a
in the
podcast
next-
in the
yeah,
future.
We're gonna
When
do
I get my
the
back
live
piece.
podcast with Josh
Yeah.
getting his first tattoo.
We'll do that at Melt.
I
At
would.
Melt.
I would love
I
to
think
do
we should
that.
do it in his
Yeah.
studio.
Well, my
maybe,
studio or Melt because we're
We'll do
promoting
it at
Melt.
Melt or post Melt. I'm not promising before Melt, but either at Melt or after Melt.
We're gonna be
I'll
one of
get-
those, like, just a
we
little
can
one.
do it.
I think you ought to be
If
the one.
Red's
that,
down for coming and filming my first tattoo.
No,
I'll
I
do
think
it.
you ought to be the first one of the week to kick
All right.
off the week.
Sure, maybe.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
on Monday when I get there.
Yeah, we can start.
I'll think about
we'll
it.
set up. We'll
After
set up the
dinner.
video screens.
I'll be
Red,
honest. If you
you're
want to
coming
know
up for
the
that.
if you want to know the truth, the tattoo I've always imagined is like
Well, this is the one you're getting because I don't recommend.
No,
going
the
with
tattoo
anything
I
else.
always imagined is not what I
imagined
got.
is so dumb. It's like this, it's like somebody painted a red paint stripe this way and a red, like kind of an off-center X.
Like, yeah.
But big, like we're
Okay.
talking,
Yeah, that would
like,
suck.
Yeah.
That'd
be the worst.
But that's like
tattoo
so.
ever.
Like I've never like I'm gonna get like Pokemon. I'm like, oh no, I'm getting that fucking crazy fucking shit.
I can put that on you. Maybe in about 2 hours you can have it all.
The first
Can I
tattoo
sleep?
I ever wanted.
If you can sleep, you remember that? Can sleep.
Do you remember when I
I
first
won't
started
wake you
talking
up.
about tattoo? I said I was going to get a warthog on my chest and get my nipple tattooed where the freaking nose was. And I thought in my mind that I was going to get that. And after I got this one, I was like, there's no way they're touching my nipple with a fucking tattoo gun. This is the worst freaking pain.
That sounds terrible, actually.
Actually, anywhere near the nipple feels like the
Yeah,
nipple.
yeah, I don't know why I ever wanted that. I thought it was badass. I saw one time.
It's interesting, especially if you have a nipple piercing. You have a cool little bull ring in there.
Eat one of these shrimp.
The shrimp are good. I ate some calamari. I ate one of those little fillet pieces. Did either one of you try those?
Oh, yes, I had a little
Is that
piece of
some
it.
béarnaise sauce?
Yeah, that is béarnaise sauce. It's delicious.
The calamari is really good.
It's real calamari. I think we touched
The
on this
calamari
earlier.
is really good, actually. That was I had.
Well, you can actually
Hold that up to the
it's-
camera so
it's-
everybody can see the little tentacles.
It's real tentacles,
Yes,
people.
yes.
Yeah,
They
there's no
just stopped
pig
moving a
anus
little
in
bit.
this stuff.
Nope.
I can't wait for the Saganaki to get here. So anyway, let's talk some more about Melt. Let's talk about Melt a little bit. And
Okay.
like I said,
Melt.
we talked about Jay and like
It's
you
one
said,
thing I can talk about during this podcast.
Well,
Yeah, he's
that's
familiar
why
with
we
it.
got him on here.
We've had
He
Mel
said
there.
this is his
I've been to every melt.
third year, so he'll be going on 4 years now, and he's our resident tattooer. You do tattoos every year. The first year you did how many?
The first year I probably did close to 30. Second year, right around the same. And then last year, the third year, I think it was like 27.
27 tattoos the last
Man,
year.
27 tattoos.
And then what I normally do is I'll come up with some ideas. I'll talk with these guys before melt happens. And just an example, last year they had a fish derby on the lake.
Yeah, well, yeah,
So I did a couple cool little fish tattoos. So anybody that was part of the fish derby and part of melt, the tattoos all have melt
including
written
a fish that was wearing a derby hat.
Oh, no, I did
that
draw
was
that
my
one, but
favorite. That
nobody
was
got it. Yeah.
Nobody got.
Well,
Nobody
he does
got
it.
it.
He'll draw a little board up, and he'll have 15, 20 tattoos that you can pick from. They're all melt oriented.
Yes.
And
I will
my
also-
favorite one last year.
Steve didn't get the Geller didn't get the fish with the fucking Steve.
He might have got. He might have got the. Well, you know what? I could be lying. I mean, at this point, my memory
Man,
doesn't
I
serve
really
me like it used
because
to.
we actually said
I remember
we
drawing it.
paid for Steve's because we were like we want Geller to get a free tattoo.
Well, you know, maybe you should get a hold of him,
I'm gonna
and,
talk to him
and
about
maybe
this,
I'm
'cause
lying
that
right now. Maybe
Steve-
I just don't remember.
Well-
But I did draw it, so I just don't know if anybody.
You had everything.
I loved it. It
You
was
had-
such a great.
You
Yeah.
had so many cool themed ones. My favorite one that you had on there, my favorite
in the
one
past
was,
all 3
well,
years.
just even last
Boob
year.
Mountain?
I loved you had the one with the finger poking the nose or poking the nose.
Oh,
to
that-
simulate poke a nose, and that's where we do melt. is in the
Yeah,
poke
that
nose.
was pretty cool. I also had the thumb clicking the marble that said "snap" beside it.
Yeah.
that was a good one.
I like that one a lot,
Boob
too.
Mountain.
Boob Mountain's a
anybody who's
classic.
Not familiar with melt? There is a mountain that you can see from the top of the campground.
It looks
Yeah.
like
And we
boobs.
always ride up there, and we've just dubbed it Boob Mountain.
Yep.
It's a nice round.
It's a
boob.
beautiful view at sunset.
Yes, yes. So when the sun sets behind the boob, you know you're gonna have a good evening. So that was a really popular tattoo. I think I did more of the Boob Mountain than anything.
Really?
Well, it had a the sunset was a marble setting, and it said melt underneath.
This was all last year.
This would
So I-
this would have been second year was the
I
Boob
know.
Mountain.
I mean, so many people got melt tattoos.
Well, let's
I mean,
just put it this way. I carry over all the designs from every previous year. So if you come up there and you want one from the first, second, or third year, I'm going to have those available
nice.
as well.
And you also do some custom stuff while you're there.
Yep.
And it's
I've
like,
done some cover-ups for people, some custom. I believe I did a piece of French toast
Really?
last year. Some girl
Oh,
wanted French
Amy.
toast. Yeah,
Amy.
her dog's name
Amy
was
likes
French
fire.
toast.
Got a French. You've done cover-ups though.
Yeah, there's a young lady that comes and her cabin was adjacent to ours the first year, and she had a pretty bad looking tattoo on her lower back that she wanted covered with certain things.
No way.
And I took my time and drew her up. I believe it was an anchor and some roses, and we filled it in. We did the outline the first year, and just this past year I actually got to
I
fill a little
definitely
bit
want
more
some
in.
of that. I thought we were out of wine. I was like looking at that bottle, like, wow, 3 cups and they were gone.
no,
that's
they
the
just put it
downfall
in
of
this
wine. That's
fancy
really not a
decanter.
It slowed me down. Actually, it's a good thing
I've
because
only
I was
got
ready to
one a little
refill
bit
about.
more.
If you rewind the tape, probably like 10, 15 minutes ago, I was ready for a new glass. Well,
Don't go crazy with it.
Go crazy
Don't go
on
crazy.
him. Fuck it,
He's like, don't go
yeah,
crazy.
fuck that
He
guy.
still has stuff to do.
Yeah, fuck
He's
him.
gonna come back here tonight.
Oh yeah.
I
he's
don't
gotta-
drink until after 9 o'clock. This is not after 9 o'clock.
He's gonna be back in. Well, we're gonna
after 9
clean all
a.m.
this shit up and pack up and go
I
home.
should have been specific
Yeah.
on the o'clock.
You're gonna
9
come back
p.m.
in here at like 9 o'clock, eat dinner.
Yeah, I'll come back in around.
I mean, again, and this is something I want to ask you because we're glass blowers, not tattoo workers. I would think cover-ups would take a lot more time than a regular tattoo.
Yeah, cover-ups are like the kryptonite to my Superman.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like them.
That's the thing. Like when you're a glass artist, people always bring you repairs,
Yeah.
and I would say that's
It's
is
the
that
same
a,
thing.
is that a,
It's the same
like,
thing.
so all you glass blowers that hate repairs, think about that when you go to get your tattoo redone. 'Cause
You
don't
could
like your
just
ex
get
anymore.
another one, or
Yeah.
just don't get a bad one that needs covered
yeah,
up.
don't get stupid tattoos in the first place, people.
Yeah.
What's the worst tattoo you ever gave?
Oh yeah.
Like worse
tattoo.
what?
What's the
What
one
did
you thought
put-
was you didn't
You
want to do?
put something on somebody and you thought you're gonna regret this.
Oh, I think we have a visitor.
oh
there we go.
shit! Here we go.
Hey, can we do that in here?
Oh,
Bring it on in.
yeah,
Bring it
here
on in
we
with
go.
the flame.
Yeah, bring that flame. We got to get on the camera.
Yep, we got it. Bring it
Look at
around
this.
here. You're going to be on camera for a
Set
hot
it right here.
second.
And we brought in this wonderful lady. She's bringing us in some saganaki.
Thank you very much,
This
dear.
thing's still on fire.
Yes,
Thank
it's
you
still
so
on
much.
fire. It looks delicious. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
We didn't get the fire we wanted. We were hoping she would set it on the table.
Yeah, we
It's
wanted
kind of dangerous, so they try not to
Yeah.
light
This
it
thing
under
shoots a
things.
Red's
flame
gonna
like-
edit that in later. Just a big fireball.
A really digitized,
Super easy,
ugly,
yeah, totally.
fake fireball.
We'll just green screen that. Here.
So this is
That is
this is
saganaki.
something called saganaki,
It's Kaseri cheese.
kaseri cheese, and they do it like a light breading, and then they put it on the plate, and then they dump like
Cooking brandy.
cooking brandy,
some kind of brandy.
and then they light it on fire, and like I said, it shoots a flame up to the ceiling, which she did it behind the camera.
it
But,
looked amazing.
Yeah, too bad you guys don't get to see that, but this stuff's awesome.
Yeah, it's good for you, too.
Is it?
I
Pretty
believe
much.
so. I mean, I
I've
don't know
heard
why it
cheese
wouldn't
in
be.
your
Any proof to back that up? Or you just
I've been eating it for a long time, and I'm healthy as a horse.
just in Jay dies tomorrow.
It didn't make it to
Heart
the fourth
disease.
melt. Oh, well.
I don't know if I heard your worst tattoo. Did I?
Worst tattoo.
Okay,
I did
I
get to
mean-
that. We were interrupted by the flaming cheese.
you were gonna. I mean, that's something that I'm actually kind
Worst tattoo, a girl wanted her boyfriend's name right above her vagina.
Ooh.
And I said, before I put it on, what are we going to cover it with? And she laughed, and then I threw out some ideas, like a school bus full of children, or
Yeah.
maybe a big black box.
I wish she'd
above
had
her
answered my bush.
One little black box. But yeah, it was really dumb. And then she came in like 6 months later and complained that she wasn't with that guy anymore, which, looking at her, I could tell she probably wouldn't be.
And did you tell her the bush was coming back?
Well, I mean, I think she figured it out because I never really covered it up. I don't
did?
know what happened to her. She maybe
You
she
told
got
me
a
this
boyfriend
before.
with the same name.
You told me this before. You said how many people actually come in there and get like their boyfriends and girlfriends' names tattooed, and
usually
they've been
see them
dating for
again.
like 6 months.
Yeah.
Do you have any? I mean, and I don't want to out anybody, but do you have any good friends that have actually tattooed like ex-girlfriends and stuff? Or is it just people outside your own social circle? Because those must be harder. Because when
no,
it's somebody
no,
close to you,
no really
it's
good
way
friends.
more personal.
Well, hey,
like,
I have the plan here for this tattoo. I mean, we already said we're gonna have Shelator.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
my wife's nickname.
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually,
But I've been with her for 20
most
years.
of my friends I haven't had that issue with.
All
But
right, I was just curious because
myself,
that would be a tough one to like.
I myself had my girlfriend's name on my arm for
Oh, you do?
amount of time, so I can tell you firsthand it's probably not a good idea. If you want to break up with someone, get their name tattooed on
Well, our buddy Brad, it does all the sound from Melt. I remember when he got broken up with his girlfriend, he got like he got his open heart ripped out. It's like his head on thing, and he got it covered up with like an open heart.
I gotta get it on this cheese.
you
here.
gotta try. Yeah, let's get this closer to him.
It's so far away to.
It's actually pretty tasty. I will say
That
that.
cheese is excellent.
All right.
There's a tartness to it. I don't know
That's
what.
what
I
it
don't know. Is the name of the cheese salanaki or is it the
No,
process?
it's
Well,
It's
the
the process.
dish itself is called saganaki, but the cheese itself is a Kaseri cheese.
Oh man, like it's like I would almost say like it's like a soft, thick cut Parmesan or
Well,
something.
I think
that's
it- well,
like,
I
it's
think
a
it
little
has
bit
the
more mellow than Parmesan.
It's got like a provolone.
It has the texture of mozzarella melted, but it has the flavor that just kicks you.
I would disagree. I think mozzarella is a lot more fluid and a lot more.
It's getting there. It's getting there. It definitely doesn't get as melty as
I almost
mozzarella.
imagine this could be a hard cheese that's deep fried.
Yes, I believe that's actually what it is.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder.
Well, mozzarella is a pretty soft cheese.
Yeah. So, but it's delicious, and a lot of the flavor comes from the alcohol.
Yeah, the
that was
alcohol.
brought
Is there
in.
some lemon
Does
around
that-
the? I mean, I see
Oh, they
there's
have it on
lemon
top.
on it, but is there also lemon put?
I usually
They got
squeeze
some
lemon
garnish.
on it.
That's why you're supposed to squeeze the lemon.
Right,
to get
'cause
a
there's
little bit more of a
little
zap to it, but,
citric thing to it that's pretty tasty.
It has that
yeah.
black licorice taste. also from the
Oh shit! Is
from
there
the
black licorice?
alcohol.
Because I hate black.
I hate black licorice, but it has an
Now I have to try
anise,
again.
an anise flavor. You know, like,
See, here's the cool thing about Jay is he knows everything on this menu, and the menu's pretty extensive, which is hilarious.
yeah, when you
Have
eat
you,
here
is there
as much
anything
as
here
I-
you haven't eaten?
No,
And most of the time
the
they
specials
just
they
make,
haven't made yet.
yeah, they usually make you specials anyhow because
Not well. I mean, yes and no. Sometimes if I get the right cook on a non-busy night, they will make something fantastic that doesn't.
Well, you were
show up on
saying
the menu.
that occasionally there's a burger night here where the guy makes you a special burger.
My new thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to Elios in the kitchen back there.
Well, Elios.
He, they have a burger night here on Tuesdays, and it's pretty much you can top it with whatever you'd like within reason. I've taken him out of reason on that, and
you
I've
said there was a
taken-
whole crab cake.
Yeah, well, I've talked about having some kind of seafood spread on top of it, and then he made a great patty melt. He made me a great breakfast burger with some hash browns and some dippy egg on it. And this week I went to our local Mexican restaurant, or Mexican store, I should say.
Which one? De Gallo?
No, I went to the little bodega down the road from the tattoo shop. I don't even know the name of the place, but they have some produce in there, and they had some really good chorizo sausage. So I picked some of those up, and I'm going to give those to the kitchen so I can have a chorizo cheese dip sausage burger Tuesday. It's going to be fantastic, I
Sounds
think.
good.
That's crazy. You design your own menu while you're here.
Well, I'm just going to give him ingredients and tell him what I want.
It's one of those things when you're here every day, you get to know them though. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
they're gonna work.
Oh, and
they're gonna work
I
with you.
tattoo these people as well.
Yeah.
I try to take care of everybody that takes care of me.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what about
So
Mel-
one of the things we wanted to talk about this episode was melt, and you kind of have a unique perspective. So we bring in Jay.
I love melt.
One of the things that we want, and actually, I'm not going to do this very often. I am actually going to take in credit for bringing you because I told Kevin,
Oh, yeah.
let's get Jay in there because I was like, let's make this unique thing where we have and I just knew you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's like that synergy. For example, we talked about it the other day.
Shit's awesome.
One of the things that's going to be new this year at Melt is that we're actually bringing in a barber who's going to set up during the week, and you can get fresh haircuts and shaves every day at Melt.
You'll be able to be dapper.
Dude, it's going to be incredible.
Actually,
If you haven't had a fresh shave, you dirty glass blower that's
the name of
watching
the
this,
name of the place is called the Dapper House.
if you haven't had a shave, you dirty glass blower that's watching this, you need to
Creepy.
treat yourself and do this because it's a wonderful experience. We're going to have it at Melt this year. It's just like getting a tattoo, but yeah,
I'm going to have him hit my bikini area.
Oh, fuck it. Full Brazilians this year at Melt.
That'd be
Straight
tight.
razor.
Yeah.
No, that's kind of scary. But
That's something you bring. So as a person, though, that is not a glass blower that comes to Melt, if you had to, pick something out of the experience of the week, what would you hit? Because I'd love to hear what you have to say about it.
There's actually more than one thing that I would hit on. The food is amazing, thanks to Kevin.
Nice.
Thank you.
I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I like being part of that.
Yeah, Jay always at the end of the week or every night, pretty much. So you guys we talked about Melt, but we do 4 meals a day. We do breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then late night dinner starts at 11 o'clock.
Midnight
That
snack.
could be just whatever. We do chili cheese dogs and gourmet grilled cheeses and
A lot of French fries.
French fries.
More
and
French fries than you've ever seen in your
pierogies and
life.
all kinds of cool shit. But Jay always steps up. He tattoos all day. He quits that by 8 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, usually 8 or 9. Get a shower, kick back, relax.
And then he always comes to the kitchen. He's like, I want to help cook late night dinner. So he's like my fry chef. He always sits back there and just cooks.
I like
French
when we
fries.
cook outside too. When
Yeah,
we
the
can get
outside's
underneath
nice,
the pavilion
yeah.
outside. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
that's where
Actually,
it's
I
at.
preferred last year better.
It was easier.
It was easier.
Cleanup was easier and everything, but the outside is
But it's
just,
the environment that
the
you enjoy
environment.
working. Yeah, it's like you don't want to work in. It's not like I'm working in the kitchen. It's like I'm at camp.
Right.
Well, the
outside,
goal is, I think, for them is to build an outdoor kitchen there.
That
That's
would be
what
really
they
nice.
want to do eventually, but it's going to be another year or two probably. But so we got food.
Yeah, some of
What-
my favorite things about Mel. I mean, it's my.
Yeah, let's hear
Let's
it.
just put it this way: it's my vacation for the year.
Oh yeah, pretty.
It is
That's
my
something else we don't
vacation
give
for
him
the
credit
year.
for. He works all the time. He never takes off. And he actually takes off from work at his job to come and work at Melt as his vacation.
Yeah, but it makes for a great vacation.
Yeah.
A working vacation where I can still pay my bills. It's always a plus, a win-win, if you will. But
last year-
the golf cart is one of my favorite things about it. I like having access to my golf cart. We decorate them. We drive them around.
Being a staff person, and he's actually got to do so much other stuff.
Oh
Besides
yeah,
that,
I mean,
he gets a
believe me,
golf
I
cart.
pay for it, dude. There's not any complimentary
not a free
shit or
golf
anything
cart.
like that, and I have to take care of it because if
Yeah.
I hurt it, I'm responsible for it.
We paid him to say this.
No, not at all. 'Cause I
And
know
we
there's
just don't
people-
want you guys to get fluffed
I
up
know
thinking
there's
like, I'm going to
people-
get a golf cart, because you're not.
Yes. I only get a golf cart because I have to move a lot of stuff all the time, is what I say.
Well,
So,
the cool thing
Well,
about
and
this
for your
year,
girlfriend, Brian.
yeah, I make sure that he's taken well care of.
Yeah, we
well,
got it.
well
Okay.
care of. I don't even think that's a thing. Good care of.
Totally. Yeah,
here's a
have to edit
fucking
that
really
one out.
funny story.
gotta take care of your lady.
Funny ass story. First year of Melt with the sirens. Right, second year.
Oh yeah, first year.
Okay, so-
That was funny.
Well, I'm down in the cafeteria. It's the last day of the party. Everybody's kicking it. We're down in the cafeteria.
It's late.
Everybody's
It's
out.
midnight.
There's still a lot of people out
It's probably
partying. Everybody's
midnight.
raging. We're in the kitchen. All of a sudden, like, Micro and Salt and all these people come running in the door. Like, everybody, the cops are here. The cops are here. Everybody, get crazy. I was like, I'm like walking. I was like, anybody got anything crazy? Put it away. Everybody put shut down shit. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Then all of a sudden, like, here comes my wife, stupid ass Jay and stupid ass Seltzer walking in the door. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
It wasn't hoo. We knew what had happened, and we rushed down to diffuse the situation.
Yeah, well, basically, they were riding around in
Brian-
a golf cart with a siren on it
No,
with the
no, no,
freaking
no.
lights.
Nah.
Brian himself just
Yeah.
had a flashlight that would flash red and blue, but it was a very bright flashlight.
Yeah.
So we were sitting
funny.
up. We were admiring
They fucked with people big
we
time,
were
yeah.
admiring Boob Mountain. It was after midnight. We were sitting, enjoying the evening. We were talking with a couple females. One of them happened to be Kevin's wife. So she was part of it. So we couldn't get in that much trouble. And a golf cart comes approaching us out of the dark up to the top of the hill. We see their lights coming. We know it's a golf cart, obviously. There's nothing up there. There's only an extension to the campground.
And there's no reason for that golf cart to be there. let me
Well,
add.
I mean, they were doing what we were doing, which was fine. But we just flashed the red and blue light, which made them stop in their tracks, turn around, come down, and start screaming that the
Yeah.
cops were in the middle of the mountain for no reason.
So people just calmed down and sobered up really quick. And as they come walking in and laugh, and then everybody else was like, oh my God. So it was actually a good story.
We weren't laughing so much as like we tried to rush down right behind them and say, calm down. There's nothing to worry about.
Well, they already had me all freaking like, I'm like walking around like telling everybody, like, you got anything, put it away. Like, don't do nothing crazy.
But it turns out I was the cop, and his wife and my friend Brian. And I think Paul's woman was with us.
It might have been.
Yeah, I think Paul's
It
woman
was
was
funny.
with us too.
It was funny.
Yep.
It was a misunderstanding. I mean, the red and blue light didn't help.
It didn't hurt nothing. So let's just say that.
No, that was interesting the first year. Last year, I don't think there was anything that kind of stands out like that.
The cool thing about Meld is
Kind of a quiet year last year. in that.
it was
last
really
year
nice.
was
though.
last year was
Yeah.
the smoothest year.
Very smooth,
I mean, we
yeah.
had there again. I didn't have to.
When did the transformer blow up? Was that
was the second year.
Second year,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was interesting.
Yeah, we actually had that happen, and that was a little bit of a nightmare. And like I said, there were so many things that happened during that time that everybody was like, it wasn't about the lights or anything. I was more worried about the $15,000 worth of food in the walk-in
Oh,
cooler.
yeah.
And it's like the power's out. When's this going to come back on? We're out in the middle of nowhere. It might take them.
It was
freaking a week to
surprising.
come
It was
out there.
surprising that it only took
Well,
1.5
luckily-
They
hours.
really, yeah.
Luckily, we had Kreiner there, which contacted all the local freaking fire departments and all that shit, and like he was on it like so fast. He had talked
He's a
to the
good guy,
electric
too.
company like 3 a.m. He was talking to them on the phone. He had them out there by 6 a.m. We
Yeah.
had power back in like 4 hours.
Kreiner's a good guy, man.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
we're
amazing
lucky
to
to have
see
him.
that happen and how fast it happened. I don't think it would have happened if, there again, we would have been like on the phone forever trying to find somebody to call and figure it out. Like I said, he was just like boom, boom, boom. As it was burning, he's like calling people on the phone, telling them like, "Hey, you need you out here right now."
Yeah, it's only 3:30 in the morning. You would think that they would
They showed up
just
at
be
6.
on call.
They showed up at 6 in the morning and freaking put that electric in.
Probably was a 2-hour drive to get there.
Nah, there's probably a local electric company, but we definitely burned down the transformer. What happened was Marcel from the Starship, they're all set up there, and they had like 6 furnaces all coming up the temperature at once. Plus, we had the entire kitchen, and this cafeteria is 18,000 square feet.
And
So-
our electrical crew had told him it would not.
Oh, yeah.
sustain
I
that.
think they
So I just
notified
said, if we're
3
gonna-
Mile
if we're
Island
gonna
about it, but
throw
they
his
didn't
name
get
out.
the,
Then I also
backup
want to put
power.
out that we said that it would not.
Well, Paul, our partner, he pretty much said, he was like, dude, you can't even touch the cables coming into the thing. They're so hot. He was like, he's like, it's going to blow.
Yeah.
And, they're all like, oh, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And sure enough, it blew.
Yep.
But, hey, we rolled with the punches. We made it happen. And it all worked out.
Yep.
Oh, that's one thing I always say about Melt. No matter what, everything is well taken care of there.
Well, I think we have such a.
That's what we strive for.
We have an awesome crew.
I mean,
people.
obviously, you guys do a
all
real
of our
good job.
volunteers, our interns, our staff. Everybody just gives a shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes a big difference, as opposed to you go to some events, you go to festivals and stuff, and you got
when you have
security
hired
guards standing
hands,
around, I don't care. Like, I don't know, I'm over there somewhere. Everybody there is informed,
They're a
and we have
part of it.
meetings, and we're always like keeping everybody up to date, and we make sure that. You shouldn't want for anything while you're there.
Nope.
And that's kind of what it's
you
about.
You certainly don't. I mean, I'd say that anybody that pays their money to come there, they're going to have a great week. And the one thing about it is when you get fed all week long, like you don't have to worry about bringing your food or where you're going to eat. You just get great food all the time.
And almost even other things like beer. I mean, how we have kegs there all the time. There's always beer to drink. If you want to go buy your own beer, you can go down the street to the store.
10-minute drive, you can get to where you need to go.
Yeah, but there's beer there. There's food there. There's entertainment out the wazoo.
Yep.
And
last year ended with a great dodgeball match. So I'm pretty sure you guys probably talked about that.
Did you throw dodgeball at all?
I didn't throw dodgeball because I
Seltzer?
had lost this delicious 20 pounds that I've lost now. So I would have probably died of some kind of sweaty heart attack.
Did Brian? Because I think Brian would be vicious out there.
I don't think he did. I know Dunlap was.
Dude.
Me and Dunlap were.
Yeah, me and Dunlap were, but I would think Brian would be brutal out there.
It just came on so quick, and being a spectator,
it
I was just
started
having
at 4 and then ended like 4, or it started at 12 and
started
ended
at midnight
at 4.
and ended at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, and it was just a really good time watching.
Oh, dude, it was
watch a lot of.
I only watched too. I didn't play. I just watched.
I mean, I wouldn't mind getting hit with the ball.
Hey, if you need to shut
the
door over there, you can
throw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my Melt experiences have all been positive.
No.
Well, moving on with Mel, I mean, we put our lineup out there. So tickets are on sale now, and the event's going to be September 9th through the 13th.
Mm-hmm. That's the dates.
We got an awesome lineup this year. I mean, pretty much just amazing. I mean, every year we try to bring in different people, and the way we structure Melt is, I mean, we have a huge lineup of like 25 to 30 artists that we kind of say are our featured artists, and I mean, they're all, I mean, everybody kind of collectively is, but there's like, we always have like 3 artists that we put out there that do like intense demos. But even if you miss those demos, I mean, there's a huge tent going on with 150 torches. And
cheese.
Oh, yeah.
There's just demos all the time. You can't walk anywhere and not see a demo from somebody. But,
Thank you.
This year, who did we put on it? We have Itai, Ramiel.
Yep, Itai Ramiel.
Ramiel or Ramiel? How do you Ramiel. And Phil Siegel.
Yep.
And Salt. We just kind of signed up, and he's not on our flyer right now, but he'll be added on there.
Salt wasn't on the flyer. Yeah,
we talked to him in Las Vegas,
and
I don't think he's gonna come. He's gonna be there like Tuesday.
Yeah, he'll be there Tuesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep.
So he's gonna be doing an intensive demo, which you met Salt.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great, fun to hang out with.
I know he's so busy these days, and it's hard to even lock him in for a couple.
Yeah,
days
no, it's one of those things. If you're talking about a guy
that's
like,
that
he's one of the most
signed up.
in-demand artists in the country, and that's again why we're flattered to have him out.
Yeah, he's a really down-to-earth guy too. So
and he's real. Like a lot of, I'm obviously I'm kind of a.
We talk about Salt. I always say, I mean, I think he for the celebrity that he has made it to, like he is a rock star in the glass community. He's pretty much in the top,
and deservedly so.
But the thing, he's so approachable. Mm-hmm. Like anybody can just walk up and talk. Like Junkie, we just had him on Saturday, and he was just like. He's like, he always wanted to meet him, and he was like one of his idols. And out at Las Vegas, I was like, well, it's just Luke, you just go talk to him. I was like, Luke, he's like, I was like, so I took Junkie over and introduced him. I was like, hey man, this is freaking Dave. I was just like Junkie Glass, and he's like, oh, I know, and he knew who he was and everything.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
He was just like, and then they sat there and talked for an hour. And he was like, I couldn't believe he sat there and talked to me and didn't even give a shit, And I was like, dude, that's how he is. He's just a normal guy, and he's very social, and he loves to talk, and he's just not one of these unapproachable people.
Yep.
Well, and a good point of view that I get from the Melt Festival is I don't really know who any of these guys are.
But over the years,
over the years I've met them, but like I'll be talking to somebody who everybody's there to see, and I won't even
know
really
who
they are.
Is. Yeah,
they're just like everybody up there is really genuine. I mean,
the
guys you pick to come there. They're all top notch. So.
That's
we try to mix it up each
year. There's something about that. It's a very level playing field.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't realize that like, oh, this person's important and this person's not. It's like, no, we're all here.
Yep.
And then like you're like, oh, that guy's apparently he's really popular.
Yeah.
Well, that's the cool
super
thing.
impressive people like Bridges that I met over the last 2 years. That guy just does the super intricate geometrical patterns, and I'm just drawn to that because I like it, but. Then him as a person, it's just like you stand there and watch him over his shoulder, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here, so you can see better and stuff like that."
Well, that's the cool thing about Melt is when we set these tents up, we have 150 torches blowing glass at one time. Nobody else is doing that. But just the fact that we have it going on, there's so many, and we're not just putting all these rock stars in one corner. Like you're going to be set up in between. You'll be somebody. You might have blown glass for a month, and we're going to set you beside John Bridges, or we're going to set you beside Salt. You don't know who you're going to be set up beside. So it's not like we put everybody that's like super OG.
Yeah, it's not a popularity contest.
It's not a popularity. So
it seems like a good learning experience for anybody.
It's all mixed in between. So you don't know where you're going to be, and like I said, you could work with anybody. You could set up beside somebody. Like, oh, you want to make something together, and you might be blowing glass for a month. You might
so
be
many
blowing glass for 20
collabs.
years.
So many collabs.
Yeah.
That happens. Like that's what's interesting to see after I start realizing like who the artists are and who the featured artists are, and then people are doing collabs with them. And next thing, like the little piece I bought last year was a collab from
Chili?
From Chile.
That's the one he robbed me on.
What the little?
He was gonna buy a piece from me, and he's like, "Well, I found this piece from Chile. I can get a piece from you anytime."
Yeah, but your piece set at Brian's store then, so I could have went and bought it. Somebody else already.
You could have got
that.
it cheaper though.
No. See, I wasn't asking for no discounts or nothing. But,
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
But that little piece of wood that Chili did.
I love that stuff. Is this the first time you had it?
No, but I've had it at least 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
I like
that
it.
stuff.
I love it. It's tart.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, it goes good with wine. Mm-hmm. Oh, I still have some.
What,
wine. Just a little bit of wine.
I need a little wine in here. What's up?
Here you go. Take your little thing here and pour that in.
I don't want to take all of it.
What's your?
I'm not having any more.
What's your favorite part about Mel?
I don't know. I guess we kind of touched
All right,
on it
I guess I'm
already. I
taking
mean,
all of it.
it's my vacation for the. I enjoy
You just like your golf cart.
when I'm not working. I enjoy putting around the golf cart, drinking some beers, hanging out with everybody, see what's going on down the glass tent, hang out in the kitchen. I mean, there's just so much going on, and these are the things like that I do are between 9 and 2 in the morning. There's the massive party, Sean Gold's party, which is phenomenal. If you've never been to a campground party where everyone's invited to one cabin,
with like $10,000 worth of booze.
Yeah. There's so much booze that the amount of booze there makes this restaurant look like they're lacking.
Yeah, last year me and you bartended with me for a while. Yeah, it was me and Josh as the main bartenders, and he bought us these badass like little English aprons, and the bar itself. I mean, it's all top shelf. I mean, it's amazing how top. Like the cheapest liquor on the shelf is like Tito's vodka.
Yeah,
that's like the cheap liquor, and then it's just beer and liquor. And he has bottles of liquor there. I mean, we went through a bottle with Johnny Walker Blue Label in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah. And there's some liquors that you've never seen before.
What the cool thing about that is, I mean, we have a glass smoke box on the table that we're smoking glasses like shots of whiskey, and it's pretty awesome to see.
It's
that.
insane. Last year there was tacos outside.
We brought in like just for that night. We brought in like a caterer.
Well, we actually had our own staff cater it.
We
bought
all the food,
and we actually ordered it.
It was food from Pittsburgh, wasn't it?
From Edgar's Tacos in Pittsburgh, which is the best tacos on the East Coast.
Then it was trucked down.
Yeah,
and
they
put
actually
together
shipped them in like 5 hours to get these
staff.
tacos there just for a 3-hour party. We say
actually that was like a 7-hour party, and you had to wait in line for 2 hours to get the tacos. But
but everybody got them, and
it was awesome.
We were talking. This party starts at midnight.
I took a nap.
The party starts at midnight.
It starts at midnight.
I fell asleep at 20 after midnight. I woke up at 2:20. I hopped in the golf cart.
Well, that's when it just started. Because I get up there at midnight and start bartending. The party doesn't really kick off until about 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
and then. Man, we woke up by the next morning. We walk outside. There's people passed out on the freaking yards and shit. We drive the golf cart down. I had like 6 people in my golf cart to go down and start cooking breakfast at like 8 in the morning. It was rough, man. Yeah. It was a rough.
Yeah, the next day has a slow start after that.
But next year, I'm happy to announce, New Jersey East Coasters are going to sponsor a Bloody Mary bar on Wednesday mornings.
Is that the Mats?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
what day?
Wednesday after the Tuesday
after
night
the
party. They're gonna sponsor a Bloody Mary Wednesday morning.
So does that mean
party.
they're not going to partake in the party Tuesday?
I do not guarantee. Those guys are partiers, so they know what's up.
That's one of the things that it happens at Mel.
His missus.
It's probably one of the hardest things you got to think about when you're there. Is like, why are you there? Are you there to have a good time and have a vacation? And are you there to learn and actually work? Because some of these people, when you actually stay up all night long on Tuesday,
you might miss a day.
Yeah, you might have to sleep a couple hours the next day and miss some stuff.
Now the whole thing is all good things in moderation. So don't forget, you can go and enjoy that party the whole time.
Yeah, I sleep
still blow glass next.
I sleep like 7 hours the entire week.
Yeah,
and I don't even
well,
do
you're
drugs,
up there 2 weeks
so-
before it starts.
And I don't even do drugs. So that's the crazy part.
I don't do drugs at all.
It's
These guys both smoke marijuana.
Marijuana
count
is
that as a
very
drug.
far from a
But
drug.
they don't count that as a drug.
Actually, it's like starting not to be
I
counted as a drug
drink-
anyway.
They're both alcoholics.
I
but they don't
start
count that
drinking
as
at
a
like
drug.
4
I
o'clock
only
every
drink
night.
after 9.
Yeah, me. I start at like 4 o'clock, and then I drink until like 7, 8 o'clock the next morning.
I only drink after 9 as I drink this glass of
Yeah,
wine.
I drink a lot the whole time I'm there.
I'm not.
It's
Yeah.
the only thing that keeps me awake. I can just drink beer and stay awake.
That's what another great thing. Like I get to buy 5 cases of beer to take for 5 days, so that's fun to pick.
5,
up.
I think I went through like 15. Holy shit.
I have to, be a dick and explain how awesome the room I get is. It's the nurse's station.
You do get a good
For
room.
some reason,
Yeah.
they have a refrigerator in there. I think it's for insulin for the kids over the summertime.
Well, originally we
I
started
get the nurse's
that.
station, and there's a refrigerator, so I can bring my own beer.
Well, okay,
I know
originally
everybody else is jealous now, but sorry, you're not doing the
No,
tattoos.
yeah, you
all
don't
his
get that.
tattoos originally was done outside that room in that building. So we
Yeah,
set
the
him up
first
a
2
room.
years they were all
But
in that
this
room.
Yeah,
Last
and actually,
year-
this last year I was down in the cafeteria. It
And
was
you
fun,
liked
but
it. That was your preference.
It felt too big. I want to go back to the room.
Really?
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that because I honestly thought down there it didn't feel the same.
It felt like I would like when you come to. I
Okay.
don't know. I mean, I would like to take a poll. Maybe you guys
No.
can. You guys do some kind of poll with
Reach
this?
under the table.
Probably not. But like, see how many people want the tattoos in the cafeteria or want to come to back
I
to my
thought it
room.
was just more
no,
convenient
no,
for the one.
I actually thought there was something special about
There
that
wa-
room.
After not doing
I'm
it in
just
the
saying.
room, being cramped and being in that little tiny room actually had the ambiance of like
Yeah.
sitting down in the cafeteria. Yeah, I had plenty of room, but I was also
I
just.
kind of like the
sitting
fact
down
that
at
you were in the
cafeteria.
mix with everybody
No,
all
no,
day.
no. It was
Because when
it was
you're
a
up in
great
that room
idea.
all day long, you miss everything that's happening in the cafeteria.
That's true.
Plus,
That's true.
people get to watch it and see it and know it's there. But also, I knew years before you have Seltzer as long as your little bitch boy, and he's just carting buckets of wine.
You know,
this guy's
I
a crazy.
I cannot say anything negative about Brian because he
Well, we
actually.
love Brian.
Well, I wouldn't call him my bitch boy.
I called him your girlfriend earlier.
My whole thing was I when he comes along and then when he helped me on the
well,
tattoos,
he helped you.
I
I
actually
mean,
paid him
who else
out
is
on
going
the
to
tattoos.
batwing that shit?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have somebody to stretch those ball sacks when you're trying to tattoo girlfriends.
If Brian wasn't his assistant for that, he'd be a volunteer at Melton.
be hard.
He'd be
Yeah,
working
and
with
you know,
us.
like, I
so
take
we
care of
give
Brian.
Brian to you.
Yeah, and
Just to let you have a bitch boy.
See what happens with
Brian,
me.
you're a bitch boy.
Hey, what happens with me is I have Brian drive us up. He usually borrows his mom's nice SUV so we have room, and he drives us up so I pay for gas. I buy us the beer for the week for the room.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like he's
when-
making out.
When he helps me out
If he
on
worked for us, he
tattoos,
wouldn't get none of that.
He's probably making out with Jay.
we're good friends, but you know,
You're
I
so
like
lucky, Brian.
females. I like females. But
You homophobic?
when he helps me out with tattoos, especially in the cramped room, he would clean up and help me set up the
Is
next
that
one
code word
really
for
quick.
in the side?
No. But I would pay him out on the tattoos, so like it was actually a working vacation
Oh,
for him
dude,
too.
yeah.
He was still able to take money home to his wife.
I just
after
want
a
you guys
week and
both to
stuff
feel like
that.
you come up there have a good time. and
I
don't-
have
it's
the
not like
best time of the year up
Good,
there,
good.
and I enjoy the fact that I can also work.
Yeah.
And
And
make
Brian
money,
always
so.
seems like he's having a fun time too.
Oh
so,
yeah, no. You guys have been. Like I said, this is my vacation. I plan my whole year around it now. It's like, I'm not going to Europe this year. I'm going to the Poconos.
It's
for a
never
week.
been lost on me that you need an assistant though, because it is. I mean, tattooing
can-
is some work with all
can
the
do it
little.
all
That's why I
myself,
was
but-
getting that
You
before.
could, but it's nice to have somebody there that's got your back and all those little extra
Exactly.
things.
He's a
Yeah,
clean
so-
freak, and he's
Oh, yeah.
he's like mops his floor in between each tattoo.
you got to.
And Seltzer was always coming out of the cafeteria. He's like, I need another hot bucket
Yeah.
of water, and he's
Yeah.
driving the hot bucket of water up in the golf
Back and
cart.
forth the golf
And that's
cart.
why I thought if you were in a cafeteria, you could always have
Yeah.
hot running
So,
water.
what are you saying? Do you want the tattoo room back up there, or do you want it in the
It-
cafeteria? Your call, right now.
Let me think about it. I'll get back to you guys on it because I know it probably doesn't affect you.
We
guys
could always
much
set you
either
up
way.
under your own little easy up and like put your own little
I think
area.
that room up there was awesome.
The room was
I just
fun
thought, like,
because I
sending
think
people up there was-
everybody
yeah.
enjoyed coming to the
Yeah.
room and
And you guys had some cool. I mean, I even saw
we had
like
some
I'd
cool
see
little
like
parties
people's
and shit in there.
Instagram clips
Yeah.
from their experience with you up there.
yeah, because that's where like Salt and them guys we hung out with.
I just
Micro and
think
everything,
people
and-
like to see it. You know?
Yeah, but you know what? After the first year, but like people just didn't seem like they were paying attention to it down there that much. Because everybody was there to get in, get their food, and then get rolling on to
get
their
out,
next
yeah.
thing. And I was kind of off to the side. And believe me, it was great. It was easy to clean, plenty of room to lay people out. It was ideal for sure. But for some reason, like he's saying, that little room for the tattoo seemed like it had this.
Well, it's your call.
It did. It totally did.
I
feel that up there.
I'm going to think about it.
Yeah. Right, we're going to do the poll. So if you guys have any comments about this.
Yeah, and this goes out to people that have been at Melt before.
This is a Melt
because
episode.
anybody else wouldn't have any.
Make sure you
really
send your
input
answers
on.
into the mailbag.
Yeah.
Yep. Send those in.
Mailbag
sack.
at Breaking Glass.
The mail sack needs filled.
I mean, and since we mentioned the mailbag right before the episode, I did send out a shout out to a couple people to ask us questions for
fantastic.
this episode. So let's just dive into that right now.
It would be amazing if someone asked me a question, because then it would be like.
Actually, here's a question for you
podcast.
here right now, Jay.
Oh, really?
What is your favorite tattoo you've ever given on someone's taint?
That's to be announced when I tattoo yours. Whatever that tattoo is, it's going to be amazing.
All right, let
gonna
me
be
find
amazing.
the real ones. All right,
I'll pay for that tattoo, and I'll pay him. I'll pay you
on
actually
my
to get
taint.
that tattoo.
Yeah, Fonzie, you want to step up?
All right, what's it say?
All right, here we go. Fonzie Glass. Oh, this is a question we can all answer too.
Oh, cool.
So, question from Fonzie Calvin, one of our staff members out at Melt, the guy that lost his cell phone in the lake.
Great guy. Great guy.
Great guy.
He fell in the lake.
He never
He
answers
said-
his phone anymore.
He
but
doesn't answer his phone anymore. It's like glug, glug, glug,
He's at a
glug.
public library
Yeah.
sending the text in.
He says, "What is y'all's?" And because
Is he from
Connecticut, because
Pennsylvania?
that's what everybody says in Connecticut.
Oh, I
y'all.
thought he was from Pennsylvania.
What is y'all's favorite smokable piece you have, and who made it? Where did you get it? Or favorite non-smokable device? I think we can all agree on a favorite smoking piece. So, go ahead. Favorite smoking
All right,
piece that you have.
Here we go. This is just retarded, but I mean, I have the worst collection of glass.
From Alex Vickner, that pipe from Alex Vickner.
I mean, that'd probably be the coolest because it's the only one I really have
your
that
coolest
means
bad
anything.
pipe.
I smoke out of the crappiest, pinchy spoons that you've ever seen. They're junk. They're just junk. They're throwaways. After I smoke out of it so long, I usually walk out in my woods and throw it into the woods. So I get a new piece every now and then.
Archaeologists will have a field day.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not a good connoisseur for that thing because I don't have anything. I have that one piece from Alex Vickner. Shout out Alex. He gave me an AGI like 12, 13 years ago, and it looks like a beard. It's pretty badass. I mean, but it's nothing like he would be like, "Oh, take this," you know? It's just something he made. So I don't really have any nice glass, honestly. I have a collection of cool pendants and marbles and pieces that are from other people that I don't use for nothing. But I don't really have any glass. Sorry.
That's your favorite. You don't have a favorite pipe to smoke out of.
I don't have any.
So not my elephant pipe that you got from me.
I don't use it. Never used it.
Yeah, that's
fuck off.
burn.
Never used it.
So
I do have one of his elephant pieces in my collection. Never touched it.
Never smoked out of it.
So I'm just saying. I'm just being honest here. I don't. I as a glass blower, and like I said, we
And
don't
I
smoke-
understand. I'm saying.
We
I
don't
mean,
smoke out of
literally,
my pieces.
I have 10 dirty pipes on the bench right now at the shop, and Kevin was literally like, "Are you just gonna throw these away because they're dirty?" And I was like, "I actually like 3 of these 10 pipes. I'm gonna keep those." But yeah, I'm gonna. Throw
Usually,
the
if
other
people
7
come to
away.
the shop or something, I'll just hand it to them
Yeah.
or whatever.
All right, so but the non-glass person. Jake,
I have a favorite piece that was
favorite
made by-
glass blower. Everything. Let's say
I
about it.
honestly don't know who made this piece. It's
Motherfucker.
It's made from the.
You better give me a shout out.
I had a really nice piece that Kevin made me the first time I ever met him.
Talk shit.
It's gorgeous. It was inside out hammer.
Pretty much
it
the
had
best
a
pipe ever.
marble mushroom on the front. He did this cool little banana curve to the stem. I love that thing and fell off my lap and broke on the driveway. And then he put it back together as a Frankenstein pipe, and the mushroom marble melted, so it looked like a thin sliver of paper in the side of the little ugly spoon it became.
Nice.
And then I think that broke as well.
I don't remember.
So that probably
My
wasn't
shit
my
breaks,
favorite.
people.
But I had to, give a shout out to the guy to the left of me. I don't have any pieces from Josh.
You do
Oh,
have a-
wait, I do. I have a Sugar Skull piece that you collabed with
Brian, yeah.
And I got to
But
pick
that's
out-
not smokable though.
No,
so.
it definitely is. I love that.
It's a
It-
Sherlock.
Oh,
It's
you
a
actually
gorgeous-
do
yes,
have.
yes,
Oh, we only
yes.
made 2 of those.
Yes, and I got to pick the face I like the
That
best.
one I like. Yeah, those are actually nice.
That is a
Those are
gorgeous
nice
piece. That that's
because it's
in the
his
case.
stem and his
And
prep
then it-
work,
and then
and
it's
then
your
all
face
skull
on
and.
it.
And you did
I think I put it together.
You just got a Don Chili
Are they
piece this year.
Are
I
there
got a Don
stars on
Chili
the
piece
eyes
that's
or-
gorgeous.
Or skulls.
I think it has stars.
Okay,
I think
cool.
it has
Yeah,
stars.
but I
in the eyes.
remember- yeah.
And also, I have this one piece from the mid '90s, and I don't know who made it, but it was so ahead of its time. It was opposing spirals, blue, light blue, and white and black, and I call it the cloud pipe because it's one disc, another offset disc, and another offset disc. with a head sticking off of it, and it's probably definitely from like 97, 98.
Yeah.
A friend of mine gifted it to me. We don't know where it came from, but if anybody out there knows the description of the pipe that I'm talking about,
There's like a billion of those.
I should have can we insert a picture? I'll send you a picture.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna do some
cut
pictures.
to the clip.
Cut to the clip. All right, so if you guys know who made that,
We're definitely gonna have some clips of your tattoo work.
oh,
and all
okay.
that kind
I
of
guess I'm
stuff.
gonna have to get some good.
Yeah,
pictures
once this
together.
airs, we'll actually.
Hey,
do all
nobody
that.
said they were photographing my taint.
Well, that's the tattoo.
Oh yeah, that's
For the future. Oh yeah.
So yeah,
I got to know what I'm working with here.
Well, we said we already.
Well, and real quick, my smoking piece, if I don't. if you
Oh
don't
yeah,
mind me dropping
whoa!
it.
I forgot there was a question.
I would, I've got a huge pipe collection. I've been blowing glass a long time. I've got pieces from so many people that are considered like
Just
rock
ones
stars.
you use?
I know. That's why I'm narrowing it down right now as we talk. So, but I would actually say if I only had one piece that I could grab out of the box before I fucking left the fire and everything's burning down, it'd be an inside-out pipe from 1998 when I first got hired to blow glass. I was working there 3 months, and then one day I went home with my buddy who was also blowing glass, and he was doing inside-out pipes at his home. And I've got some fucking hippie named Oscar, and all I can say is when I talk about Oscar, I used to work next to Oscar every night, and he wore fucking rings on his hand. So you'd be working, so you're working next to Oscar, and you thought your shit was cracking because that motherfucker, he's like rotating his stuff, and so that was the worst thing. But I always remember that. But there's something about this nice inside-out spoon.
Was it like two bells put together?
It
to
was.
Make the
It's
sections?
two bells put together, pulled out.
Yeah.
I was at his. I would visit him. We would go over to his house after we got off of work. I saw him make pieces. It's just one piece that I actually have to be like, that would be the one. The second choice would be a piece that I got from Calm. Cal M from, he's in Colorado now, started out in Tucson, and it is just kind of a special piece where it's a really sick pipe.
Nice.
But that one from Oscar. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in because
Calm's coming to melt this year, right?
no, it's not. Now he is.
Oh, no.
Calm.
No. Oh, sorry. Bertoni.
Yeah, Bertoni and BMFT.
BMFT.
They're both old school.
I was thinking,
friends
I
with
got
Calm.
them confused for a
You
second.
got Calm from Tucson that was friends with BMFT, and then you got Bertoni, who him and Calm went on this crazy like year-and-a-half road trip back in like 2000.
That's why I was getting that.
That's how you connect them. But yeah.
So we had a couple. Well, we added your brother.
Yep. Oh, for this year, yeah. So we put a poster out for the people coming to melt, but this year, we have added artists since that, including my brother Eli Mazzei
And Rocco
out of
Rocco
again,
Beloso.
another artist out of Las Vegas,
Millie
Millie artist, and then we're bringing in BFF Becky Feathers
and the man
super
Will
talented-
Menzies, which
and
that
Will
podcast
Menzies,
will drop before this one.
Yeah,
so.
well, within the you're going to see a podcast from Will here. Either you already saw it or you're going to see it, and he's an awesome guy. So
I'd have to say I met Rocco and I traded him a tattoo for a Darth Vader pendant.
nice. Yeah, you were mentioning that.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He's a great guy too.
That's another.
I mean, and not to. I don't want to now that I know you already said Rocco, but if you had to pick out your best trade in 3 years, what would be the one pendant?
I had a lot of trades, and I don't want to make
just
any
do it,
better
just
than
do
the
it.
others, but that pendant is
Really?
gorgeous. Yeah, it has
Yeah.
the Darth Vader Millie, and it's a CFL, and I don't like big gaudy things, so it's small and it's really really nice. And he signed the back of it with a Taipan.
Taipan. Thank you, Jim Ludlow. Taipan.
What's the? Here's a quick one. What's the craziest thing that somebody tried to trade you for a tattoo?
Ever, not at melt. Ever.
Oh man, see, I don't have this great story, but the guy I work with does.
Let's hear it. What's his
Jeff?
best story?
Or Davey?
My friend Davey, he was.
I'm gonna show you a Sasquatch embryo.
Well,
if you tattoo me for free.
He tattooed a guy that had a small bag of yellow tomatoes and an oversized pair of leather gloves.
He traded that?
The guy said that he wanted something small, and at the end of the conversation, he said he didn't have any money, but he could trade him some stuff, and he went out and he came back with a small grocery bag full of tomatoes, and then he threw in the gloves. So
That sounds about as good as Kevin's apple pie.
I was there for it, so it was amazing. And the guy did get the tattoo, and I don't know what happened to tomatoes and gloves,
offered.
but-
Well, hey, I will say this. A huge
I got
shout
offered
out.
2 apple pies. Huh? I got offered 2 apple pies at Ice Fest for some glass.
for some 2 apple pies. Not as long lasting as a nice glass piece, but
In Glass
delicious.
Vegas, I got offered apple cider.
What's up with you and apples?
We can't figure it out because people just look at me and think this motherfucker likes apples.
I'm gonna get him some of those sour apple Jolly Ranchers and see what I can
hate
get.
apples. The fucked up thing is I hate apples. It's my least favorite fruit. I don't eat apples. Fuck apples.
Hey, I'm an advocate for apples. I enjoy apples.
They suck.
I love yellow pear tomatoes, so if somebody showed up with a bag of yellow pear tomatoes, I'd be tempted.
Apple's my least favorite.
I see.
Little mini yellow, those are delicious little tomatoes. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's
All right,
that's
so best
interesting.
trade. Ask Jay how many. I don't want to spoil that.
Yep, and let's see. Are there any more questions that you guys want to go?
There
through?
was one more question from Joe Romanowski. Let's just hit that up.
Go to the mail sack. I think you should call it the sack.
Just a plug
because
right
the
now.
bag is kind of boring.
If
but
Jay, if you could just reach under the table and reach into the
I'm
mail
into
sack.
all sorts of sacks.
If you do have any
M-A-L-E
questions,
sack.
we're gonna
The mail
go. What is
sack.
it? Mailbag at Breaking Glass or what is that?
Yeah, no, but Joe. Okay, so this is a question for Kevin.
Oh shit.
It says to Kevin, how do you value your work? Do you value each piece of glass on its own, or do you go by man hours?
So it all depends. It really all depends. If we make a crazy piece and we work on days, it's by the piece. My production work, it's all the same. I mean, the average marble is $100. The average pendants $20 to $50. It all depends what I put into it. It's all about time.
No.
And time, color. I mean, we talked about color recently a lot, and like we said, hey, I've been putting way too much color in these pieces. And a color costs $100 a pound.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, shit's going up, and everything's going up, and I honestly think that our shit's always been priced about the same since 15 years ago. For the most part, I've never really raised my prices. I'm probably due to raise my prices just for the fact that color costs so much.
Well, I mean, whatever the market is. I mean, other people are
if me and
blasting
Josh,
it up there.
if me and you work on a piece for 4 days, I kind of put it into day perspective. So like if we both have 4 days, and like that one last piece we made, that underwater piece, we spent 4 days making it. So that's me and him both 4 days. That's 8-man days, like 8 days for 2 guys. So we each need to make, so much a day.
Exactly.
So if we value, and there again, I think we're still undervalued. There's guys out there that work 8 hours and sell something for $10,000. There's guys out there that do that.
Yeah, I can do some tattoos really quick and get a certain price for them. So
Yeah.
You probably go through that. But how do you value a tattoo?
I value a tattoo per piece.
Per piece,
Not per
okay.
piece, because if I went by time, sometimes I'm really fast.
So if you
doing
like it
some
more,
of them.
you don't charge more? How's that work?
If I like you more, I don't charge.
Well, see, sometimes when I make a piece, if I really, really like the piece, I mean, like, you know what? I don't care if I sell it. I'd rather just jack it up and try to get that extra $200 or $300 or $400 out of it, just because I really like the piece. Yeah. It's like that'd be something I don't care if I sit on it for a year because I just like to show it off.
See, in my case, when somebody gives me work that I enjoy doing, I seem to give it away cheaper because I'm just enjoying the time I'm working. It makes my work more enjoyable than it already is.
Well, if I'm at a show, if we're on site, if we're at a show and we're doing something, I'm making things and somebody requests something, I'll put so much extra time into it and probably give it to them for a little bit of nothing. We go to festivals. I mean, like, you just try to hook people up.
Yeah, yeah. You try to impress people, too.
It's a nice thing to do, too.
Yeah, it is.
But I mean, sometimes, like I said, if we work on a piece for days, I kind of need to make a little bit more. But my production work, I mean, it's like if I make a spoon and I'm making 100 spoons, I'm saying they're $20 a piece. I don't care if I put a little extra in this one and a little less in that one. Just $20 a piece if you buy 50 of them. It's about what you put into it.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Good answer. Good
I
answer.
think that's a good answer. And then Joe actually did have a follow-up question. He asked one for you and he asked one for me, and I haven't read it yet, but let's see. It says, Josh, you like to use brass prunts. Prunts. I have no idea what that word is.
Stamp?
Stamps.
Stamp.
Yeah. No.
But he said prunt.
He said
maybe-
prunts
yeah,
slash
a prunt.
stamps.
Yeah.
What's a prunt?
Would
It'd
it
be like a
print?
stamp.
Well, I guess so, only because it says /stamps. I know that.
Well, I said it before you even said it.
If print was just floating out there in the ethereal, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Prunt. P-R-U-N-T.
But I'm wondering if he misspelled it.
Where do you put the penis?
I'm wondering if he meant print.
Print stamps? You think
Print.
you think print was what he meant?
I mean, it's closer to what I guess.
I don't
it's kinda
know.
talking
I just
because
think
I don't know what a print is.
I can't figure out what. I
Where do you put
honestly
the penis?
don't know what a prunt is, but stamps.
I
Yes,
prunted her.
yes, I do use brass stamps and to texture your glass. And then he says, "Do you feel like it's biting when somebody do the same?" And then he's like, "Cause I bought some of yours after seeing your stamp work." And no, I don't think it's biting. I will say this though. Occasionally, I see people use stamps. And I'm not going to name them, though I may be blood related to them. But sometimes they use stamps in the exact way I'm using it. And I think that's kind of biting because basically the stamp is a tool, but then as you choose to use it as a creative device, it's your decision how you use that as a creative device. So if you just take a stamp and then make it your eyeball, then that's would kind of feel like biting unless you had a lot more distance between me and you. Like if you use a stamp, you're not related to me, you're way down the line, you're about 20 years younger than me. I wouldn't consider that much as a bite, but I would consider somebody who is a contemporary artist using stamps in the same way that I do as biting.
Well, I could jump in there for just a quick hot second and say,
We'll just make it
I've
your
been
own,
accused of biting because I made a Darth Vader pendant.
Oh yeah, you
and
dealt with this.
I went through this whole ordeal, and if you see my Instagram or you see my feed, I do a ton of Star Wars stamps, and I use metal biker rings, which I've done the demo on Torch Talk, and it's just a metal ring that you buy. And when I first started, I actually was, how many years ago was the marble show? The first one was like 4 years ago.
4 years ago, you got some
I
big...
never made a marble. I wasn't even a marble maker. I never even thought myself as a marble maker. I'd make little marbles and put them on pieces. And I bought these my buddy gave me these skull things, and I pushed them in the glass. Like, that's awesome. So I just went online and started looking around for other things that I could push into glass, and I found all these Star Wars rings. It took me a while to find them. Well, I had a guy call me out and say, "Oh, I invented this shit," and all that. I was like, "Dude, you don't own Star Wars.
Yeah, and you don't own stamps.
Star Wars, and you're doing the exact same format that I was doing."
And
with
the guy
skulls.
that was criticized you wasn't making original stamps. He was also buying...
Same things.
Yeah, he was
the
buying
same stamps.
a product from somebody, then making a stamp out of it.
It was a metal ring, but he literally started a huge stink and called me this biter and said all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't even know you. And like, actually, I even went on my post then and changed on my post and gave him credit for it.
Yep.
I was like, listen, you're not the only one that's ever going to do this. I was just like, you might have did it. I don't know where. He was from Australia, so it didn't really matter, but he basically just talked a lot of shit. But
the long and the short of it is, when you use a tool, you're not necessarily a biter, but we would still encourage you to use it in an original way.
Well, I told him, I was like, nobody owns Star Wars. You can't tell somebody they can't put Star Wars in a thing. And I was like, from that saying, you could be like, hey, you're not allowed to ever do a wigwag again because somebody already did that. Yeah. It's just like, it doesn't work that way.
And at some point, there's going to be a conversation on our show about the use of imagery that is developed by other people, whether it's Nintendo, Spielberg, George Lucas. There's actually a lot of artists out there that have built their career on the imagery of other people, and there's a conversation to have around that
for sure.
And that's something I want to do in the future here,
all right?
Because it bothers me.
Gonna have to get a lawyer in on that one too.
Totally. Yeah, and there have been lawyers involved in this. Yeah.
Starbucks got after fucking Hitman.
Starbucks has hit people for using their imagery, and Team Death Star, which was a big, like a company that was trying to take over a few years ago, got hit by whoever represents the Star Wars.
I'm hoping I never get hit. I'm so far under the radar. I don't put out enough of that stuff to be, I think, considered a threat. I think I'm more considered fan art. I definitely do tons of Star Wars stuff. Yeah. But I don't think that it's ever going to be one of those things where they can actually, they can't stop you from painting a picture of Star Wars.
That is, but again, there was even an artist we were talking to earlier that was considering building a sculpture that looked like Yoshi, but decided not to because there's another glass artist making Yoshi, and the reality is you're both just copying Nintendo that made the product Yoshi and whoever those unknown artists are, and it's really it's not original, so you can't really be bitching at somebody else making
for sure.
that. Yeah, so.
Well, I'm all for that.
Yeah, so good question, Joe.
That is a good question.
Since you really screwed the pooch last time and didn't send your question to the right place. That's for you, Joe. You know you're my favorite.
Hey, so do you guys want to talk about the giveaway?
Oh, yeah. So earlier in the podcast, we announced how many
tattoos I did last year.
How many tattoos Jay did at Melt 2018. If you send us a direct message to our Instagram page, Breaking Glass Podcast, you are entered in a contest. Kevin, tell them about the contest.
Well, basically, it's just going to be, we talked about that earlier. You guys didn't know that was going to be part of the contest, but Jay's going to give away a tattoo at Melt this year. So we want people that are coming to Melt that want to get a tattoo, or if you don't want to get a tattoo, you could probably give it to somebody else.
No, you can definitely.
So if you win the tattoo, you can give it over to somebody.
Yeah, you have to attend Melt.
You're winning a tattoo of your choice, he's saying. So a lot of times the tattoos are just little.
Yeah, a lot of times I do little tattoos. They take about a half hour.
But he's saying
but
basically,
I want to give away a bigger tattoo this time, and I kind of want the person that wins it to, to get a hold of these guys through their website and send a little bit of information of what they'd like. That way, when we get up to Melt this year, we can set some time aside to do the custom tattoo, and we might even get it put onto this broadcast.
Oh, absolutely,
well,
yeah.
We already said earlier in the thing, and we kind of shouted out the number, which we could say it now because it's
No. That's
they can
you
go
are
back.
missing the point of the
Well,
contest.
it's at the end of the podcast, so if they watch that far, they're going to see
Yeah, that's true. I mean, whatever.
Oh my
However you
God.
guys want to do it.
Fuck
the whole
these
thing
guys.
is they
That's
just
all
need
I'm
to go
saying.
in there.
We made an agreement at the
answer
beginning of the
question,
podcast.
and
that's how we were going to
Okay,
do
the
it.
question is, how many tattoos did Jay do last year?
I want to talk
Yep.
to you guys.
And you guys just send it, and it's not hard to find. You could scroll through the little.
The whole point
bar
was
at
that
the
you have to
bottom, but
watch the
easier.
episodes.
We would rather have you guys listen to the whole show. It was quite entertaining for a first podcast.
So any case,
But yeah, I want to do a really awesome tattoo for somebody. Now, I'm not giving away a sleeve or a whole back piece or anything, but it'll be a larger tattoo.
If you're a Melt attendee, this is your chance to cash in on that and get a bonus tattoo from Jay by watching the podcast.
Maybe a little bit of stardom, because you'll be on
and
the
we'll
internet.
feature your tattoo later down the line.
Yeah, we'll do a little filming of it while you're getting it done.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you make a lot of noise.
We just want you.
So anyway, check us out on breakingglass.show is our website. You can check out all of our previous episodes and some bonus stuff and all that kind of crap. Instagram _breaking_glass_podcast. Thanks a lot, Red. I like that. And Facebook at Breaking Glass Show.
That's a lowercase hyphen if you didn't know what we were talking about.
Lowercase hyphen. It's a hyphen that fell on the ground.
It's a lowercase slash, motherfuckers. You don't know.
No, slash fell over. It's a slash that fell over.
It is a slash that fell over. Good call. Tippy slash.
So anything else you want to say before you go?
I hope to see you all at Melt. It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
it always is.
What about you? Anything good? You're getting ready to take off. You're going West Coast. So
Going West Coast.
this will be the last. Well, we have one more podcast.
We got one more. We're going to do another one at the end of this
Then
week.
we're going to be
Yeah.
watching banked episodes. So hopefully you guys catch up to these and
Yeah.
we'll go from there.
We'll see you then.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Hey, see you all later.
Take her easy.